Hi, boys and girls. This is an extra lesson that I have been wanting to teach you. It is about writing a letter. And what perfect time to write a letter when you have a little bit of distance learning. If you have the time and you want to do this, I would love for you to write a letter and send it to me. Just have your mom and dad's email me and I'll send you my address. Yes, I will send you my personal address. So, there's a few things I want to teach you when you write a letter. The things you're going to need first, though, is you either need lined paper. Now, this is fancy school lined paper, notebook paper, anything with lines works. So you don't need this. If you have pretty stationery, great. I had a really nice letter sent to me by one of our friends of our class. You know who you are. And it just made my day. They sent me a really nice, and it was just nice stationery. It didn't actually have any lines on it, so that's okay. Whatever you have would be great. But if you have lined paper, that would be great. I'm going to show you the line. If you don't have lined paper, you can also use paper like this, and you can create a card by folding it hamburger style, short and fat. And you create your little card, and if you need some lines, you can then take a ruler on the inside and just draw some quick lines like this to help you write. Okay, so you could do something like that if you want to make a card and then do it like that. Okay, so that's another option. So when writing a letter, there's a few things you must have. Well, not must, but it's really nice to have that I want to teach you today. Yeah, I would like you to always write in a pencil when you do your letter. You can do your doodles and your pictures and all that in something else, but when you write in a pencil, it's much easier to be able to erase if you make mistakes. Okay, so try to use a pencil. I'm going to use a pen today, and the reason I'm using a pen is so you can see it. No other reason, okay? So the first thing is, when I have my lined paper, I'm going to put my date on it. So today's date is, it's the 4th month. We're in the 4th month of the year, and it's the 3rd day of April, and the year is the 20th. This is the short way to write it. We haven't really learned that yet, but that's okay. So it's the 4th month, the 3rd day, and the 20th year. Okay? So I put my date on there. Just that way, it's nice if when the person gets it, they know when you write it. And if they like to keep the letter, they'll always know when they got it. The next thing you're going to write is the word dear. So dear, and not like deer as in the animal, not like Bambi, but dear person. And if you don't want to write the word dear, you could do hello or hi, but I'm going to write dear. And I'm going to, since this is an example, I'll do dear friend, but you could, if you were writing it to me, you could do dear Mr. McD. If you're writing it to a friend, you could do dear Reginald or dear Susie or dear Moogalagadugala. You know, I miss Moogalagadugala. Anyways, so dear friend. See how I wrote that? And I have one finger space because I have big fingers. It would be 2 finger spaces for you so that they don't go together. And then you're going to put, if you remember what that's called, it's called a comma. A comma is like a little breath, helps you to remember to pause. That's all you put on that line. Then you stop. Then you go to the next line. So I have dear friend. Then I'm going to write my little message. You don't have to write much. You can write a sentence. You can write a couple sentences. Write whatever you want. The best way to start a letter if you're stuck is write a question. And a good question to write, I was a little sloppy, I'm sorry, is how are you? And the reason that's a good question and it's a good way to start, and don't forget your question mark because you're asking a question, you want to put a period. The reason that's a good thing to start with, how are you? And look, I have another finger space between. You would do 2 because you have smaller fingers. is because not only are you telling the person that you care by asking them how they are, but it may get you a letter back. They may want to write a letter back to say, "Oh my gosh, Mr. McD, I'm doing so well. Thanks for asking, blah, blah, blah. How are you?" And then you may get another letter back, and then you might start doing letters back and forth. So once you've written your question, you may then say, you could say something you did today. Let's see if I can fit this in. I think so. See how I use my finger to make sure? I took a walk today. You can write whatever you want about whatever you want. And then I'm going to do a period. And then you can keep writing. That's all the examples I'm going to give you. So, how are you? I took a walk today. You're kind of telling about yourself, everything. Now, I'm running out of lines because this isn't a lot of line paper. But when you're finished, you're going to close your letter. And you can close it however you want. You can say fondly, warm regards, miss you, whatever. I always like to write, and you guys know this about me, I think. And I'm going to pretend there's lines here because I'm running out of space. But I'm going to write love. And I'm going to do a comma. Take my breath, love. And then I sign my name. You're going to sign your name on your letter. Love, Mr. McD. Okay. So you have your date, you have your opening where you say hi to your friend, then you have your message, then you have your closing, and you sign your name. So that is just a quick little lesson on how to write a letter. Watch today's little reading also, because we're going to read a book about letter writing, which is kind of a fun book. And watch for the mail if you're in my classroom, wink, wink, nod, nod, because you may be getting something from me. We also have our email chain letter going, which is a lot of fun. So this is a great way to try out writing a letter, and you have the time to do it too. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.